The next thing we are going to insert in our business letter is something called a table. Following steps are going to insert a table with 3 columns and 1 row of the location of the insertion point. The first column will identify the activity, the second will identify the event dates, and the third will identify the activity times. You will start with 1 row and then add them as needed. So we're going to put the insertion point in we entered in twice, it's right here on this third one. And we're going to go to the Insert tab, and you'll see where we have tables. We're going to click Add Table, and then right here it gives us the options to add a table however we want to add it. It'll show a preview of what we want to do. We're going to position the pointer on the cell in the first row and this third column, and I click on it. And when you click on it, it inserts it for you. So now the table is visible. Now we're going to enter data into a table, into the cells of the empty table. The data that you enter in a cell word wraps just like it does with the margins of a document. To place the data in the cell, you're going to click the cell and then type. When you want to go to the next cell to the right, you're going to press the Tab key. So with the insertion point in the left cell of the table, we're going to type an activity. Then we're going to press the Tab key, and we're going to type event dates. We're going to press the Tab key. We're going to type in times. Now, to insert more rows, you go to the farthest left column and then press Tab when there's no more table, and it will insert a new row for you. We're going to insert more data. So the activity, booth setup, Tab key, Friday, October 27th, Tab key, 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Tab key to insert a new row. Booth sales, Tab key, Saturday, October 28th, Tab key, 9 o'clock a.m. to, this is inconsistent, 9 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. I think that's because it's different. I don't necessarily like that. I like having the 5 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m., but hey, that's just me. Tab key, booth sales, Sunday, October 29th, 9 o'clock a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. Tab key, booth takedown, Tab key, Sunday, October 29th, Tab key, 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. And that is the end of that table. Now, as you can see, this is just the default table, and if you recall, in our example, there are colors here, and it also has vendor timetable up there, which I'll show you here in a second how to do that. So we're going to apply a table style. So Word provides a gallery of more than 90 table styles, which include a variety of colors and shading. Table styles allow you to change the basic table format to a more visually appealing style. So what we're going to do is we're going to select and put the insertion point in the table. And we are going to go to Table Tools Design. And then we're going to go to More. And then we're going to find Grid Table 6. Colorful. Accent 3. Click on that. And look, it looks just like it did in the example. what I just noticed that I forgot to show you guys is that in this style, these are bolded and they're not supposed to be. So if you click on first column here, deselect it, and it will change it for you. Now, you can resize the table columns to fit table contents. This table currently extends from the left margin to the right margin, but we're going to fit the width of the columns to the contents of the table automatically. You want each column to be only as wide as the longest entry in the table. So the first column must be wide enough to accommodate the words booth takedown because it's the longest amount of data. Otherwise, you have all of this extra space and it just doesn't look all that great. So with the insertion point in the table, we're going to display the layout tab over here because there's two tabs up here. We're going to click the AutoFit button. And then you're going to go to AutoFit Contents. So if you see, things go a little bit smaller for you. Now we're going to select a column. We're going to change the alignment of data in the cells in the third column of the table. So we're going to position the pointer at the boundary above the column to be selected, so the third column. And then you're going to see this little pointer that changes to a downward pointing arrow. And then we're going to select the column. Now we're going to select the contents of rows, columns, or the entire table itself. So if I wanted to select a cell, I would point to the left edge of the cell and then click on, I could just click once to select a cell or click multiple times to select the row. Same thing I just showed you with the column. Now I want to align data in cells. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to change the alignment of the data in the cells in the third column of the table. So in addition to aligning text horizontally in a cell, you're going to align it vertically within the cell. With the cells which in the column are selected, we're going to go to Table Tools Layout Alignment Group, and we're going to center the cells for Align Top Center. Now we're going to center the table. To select the entire table, you see this little icon here, click on it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to Home, Center, and it will center the table in the middle of the document. Now what we're going to do is insert a row at the top of the table, because what we decided not to do in this is insert the title. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to position the insertion point somewhere in the first row of the table because you want to insert a row above that row. So we're going to go to the Table Tools Layout, Rows and Columns group, and we're going to insert above. So now we're going to put a title in there. But what you might notice is there's 3 spots here. Where am I going to put a title? Do I put it in the middle? For this example, it's stretched across there. There's no lines. What we're doing is we're going to take these 3 cells here and we're going to merge them together into one cell across the entire row. To do that, we're going to select all 3 cells, and then we're going to go up here to the Merge group, click Merge Cells, and that gives us one big cell that we can modify. Okay, if you noticed, I had a little bit of extra space. If that happens to you, backspace, we only want 1 line. Now we want to center our data, and we want to type in vendor timetable. Now, we're going to change the font of text in that table row. So we're going to select what happened with this. If you didn't notice this already, when I was doing this, I lost my bold. If you go to table style options and get rid of header row, it'll be bolded. Now what we're going to do is we are going to select our headings up here, and we're going to bold them. So now we're going to, we're done with the table. If we want to add something in here, if we wanted to split table cells, for example, if you want to say, hey, I don't really want to merge these, I want to split it back to the tables, I could right click on it and I could split cells into how many columns I want. I could say I want 3 columns, and it would do it for me, but I don't want to do that, so don't do that. I could also delete cells. I could select something and I could go to layout and I could delete cells. I could delete columns, rows, or I could delete the entire table because, heck, I spent all that time for nothing. But seriously though, that is how you delete table data. Then we're going to position the insertion point on the paragraph mark below the table. Then we're going to press the enter key, and then we're going to start on the next session.